The first few months I was in Nigeria, I was on my own, and there is nothing I could ask because the whole week I was just alone. So outside of classroom where I was teaching and meetings in the department, I was just experimenting on my own and had a lot of difficulties. For example, I refused to have a steward that is a servant because this was completely foreign to me. In France, we are people that are proud not to be served, you know. And so I went to the market because I wanted to buy some stuff. I wanted oranges, I wanted lettuce to do salad, and you know. So I looked for oranges and I couldn't see oranges. And it came to a point I didn't eat any fruit. So I went to the doctor because I was unwell, and the doctor said, "Why can't you eat fruit?" And I said, "I don't see any fruit." And actually, it came up that I was looking for oranges that were orange, and the ones in the market were green. So I would not have known. Another problem was I wanted lettuce, and I went to the market and looked around, and I saw a lot of leaves that were looking nice. I thought it was lettuce. I didn't ask, and because the people were only speaking Igbo, I didn't speak Igbo. I just arrived. So I bought this, and the people were kind of smiley, you know, halfway laughing, and I didn't know why. So I bought that, and then when I came back, I tested it, and it was absolutely awful. And actually, what I'd bought was bitter leaf. And you know, you don't eat bitter leaf like that. You have to wash it and wash it and wash it and then prepare it. You don't eat it raw, which I was trying to do. Another thing I learned going to the market was to bargain, and that was hard because I didn't know the currency and I didn't know the language. So at that time, what was happening was most women could not discuss anything with me because they didn't speak English. So they called little children, sometimes just 4 or 5 years old, and then they were trying to discuss with me, and I was unable to bargain. It's something that I learned, uh, far better later. And yeah, it came to a point I started bargaining, I became good at it. But my market experience ended very quickly. When I married, my husband told me, it's better you don't go because when you go to market, everything will become costly. So I better do it. And I continued missing market until our first daughter told me, "Mama, come with me. We are not going to continue like that." So I went to market and started learning how to bargain. And one particular day I was very proud of was a day I wanted to buy a particular thing. I knew how much it was costing, and the man wanted to sell that more costly. I tried to do the normal dance, putting down the price, and so we ended up he high here, me low, and then we were trying to come to an agreement, and at a point it didn't work. And I told him what was the normal thing to do. I said, "Don't worry, I'm coming back." And of course, I was speaking English. And then I was going down the path out, but I understood Igbo very well, only that I didn't speak very well, so I avoided speaking Igbo. And so the man started speaking Igbo to his neighbor and say, "Hi, I didn't know that they were white people that were poor." So I smiled to myself and then turned back and said, "Have you found now that you can change your price?" And we agreed, and that was a great thing. I enjoyed it. Another experience I had in the market was when I was head of department. Uh, my secretary was buying stuff, stationery for the department. And I thought that what he was buying was very costly. So I told him when I became, full head of department, I told him, "Don't worry, tomorrow we go to market together." I know he didn't like it, but there was no choice. So we went, And then he went to his normal customer, and then I said, okay, I want this, I want that. I had a list, and then the man, the seller, was said, do you want the normal price or the usual price? I said, of course, the normal price. So everything became very cheap all of a sudden. We started making fantastic economies. And the secretary came back and said, I don't think you need me anymore. You can do it yourself. And I went and started buying all the stationery myself every week, which was very tiring, but it was very, very good for the department. Yeah. So all this is fun memories of the market. Another thing I could add to it was when we went to the market together with my husband and little children, we used to drop the little children with the carpenter or usually the shoemaker. So the shoemaker was repairing shoes and he was absolute expert. You could give him a pair of slippers that had only half of the sole remaining, and you would get a thrown one, sew the two parts of the sole together and make a brand new one. And our children were always in his custody while we were going around the market buying the whole thing. And then because the children were small, their little legs could not make it walking for hours like that. So when we finish marketing, then we come back, say thank you to the shoemaker, and take the children out and return home. Market was fantastic.